holding these comical books hostage. And if you don't watch the reviews, then I will shoot them with this unloaded toy Nerf gun thing. Don't make me do it. It's too late. I did it. I don't know. This was on the floor.
And,
right.
you know, shiny objects.
It wasn't even shiny. Just objects. It's like I should just change the show's name to Comic Reviews. Wow, there are a lot of.
They really are.
Infinity Gauntlet banks up here.
One of them's broken. That one's all trashed.
Oh yeah, look at that guy.
That makes me so sad. I would love to get one of those if it was the right hand. As in correct.
Who cares?
I do.
It's a giant fist. You realize sexual innuendo puns I could make with this? You can bank on it. Fisting. It's an investment.
Moving on.
Okay, so we're gonna review some comical books here on the F3G2s. First, lenticular cover. DC Rebirth, Batman number 21, the first part of the Batman the Flash crossover, The Button. More questions than answers here, but a great story and a great setup for the second part that will hopefully have, well, probably not more answers than questions, but hopefully a couple
Some
answers.
answers.
Never film a review show after work. Anywho.
And yet we do it every week.
Yeah, not every. We're inconsistent at best. But anywho, this
More
was
so,
so good. Writing on this is nowhere to be found because comical books these days.
Oh, it's credit.
We'll just hide the credit. We'll put it wherever we want. Make you look for it because that's the way we are. Last page. So Tom King. Damn, I can't breathe. All right, Tom King and Jason Fabok on the pencils and the inks. So freaking beautiful. Bad day to be Eobard Thawne, but apparently not the worst day because I think he's in the solicits as currently torturing the Flash coming up. So, you know, it mayhaps. Although I guess if you're a time traveler, you could still be there after you could be there before your demise, but after, I don't know, whatever.
Stop thinking about it.
Nosebleed. Yeah, so he has a bad day. So does Batman, because while Flash is super fast, he's never famous for being on time. So when he says he'll be there in a minute, and Batman's got to fight Reverse Flash on his own, and he's like, I don't need a minute, I just need 11 more seconds. Well, if you know anything about Barry Allen, if he told you that the time frame would mean 11 more seconds, you know you need at least 13. So there's that. Apparently, this is the day that sets off young in Arkham Asylum Saturn Girl. I'm just getting lost in the art. This is my review. I can't not look at it.
Why is
so good.
Saturn Girl in Arkham?
Because if you get stuck here and start telling people I'm from the future,
Fair enough.
I need Superman to help me, or the Legion won't be, they lock you up. That's just how it goes. Mesmerizing. Anyway, so good. Can't wait for the second part.
It's pretty.
Secret Empire number 0 happened.
Really? Damn.
Yeah, I gotta go downstairs and tell them to pull where is it? Somewhere in here is Steve Rogers, Captain America.
Hydra
Steve
Cap.
Rogers. Just pull that off my damn list. I don't care.
Done.
I just don't care. I don't care about the next long, slow build up to a long, prolonged superhero versus superhero and.
Yeah, that does seem the way they're going again because they can't get off of that one.
Aquaman finds out that Deadwater is not the monster. You're the monster, and that's what turns you into Deadwater. It's fear. It's a self-defense mechanism for a gateway to another world. And the more scared you are, if the breach is open, the more scared you become of what could be on the breach, the more likely you are to become a creature that will then stop people from going through that breach. Sort of clever, but not great for our cast.
No.
Redneck, #1, from Image by Donny Cates, Alessandro Esteran, and D. Caniff, or Conafi.
What's the setup?
It's so good. It's redneck vampires. But I don't know how to phrase it. I was trying to explain it to I'm like, this is already so much, like, it's like, oh, southern salt of the earth and less than couth vampires. And I know, you're already thinking, didn't we watch that? And when they turned those novels into True Blood. You're like, no, because this doesn't try as hard and therefore succeeds more. And I'm hooked. There's a family of vampires living out in the sticks, and down in town there's a family of people who know that they're vampires, but of course nobody listens to it. So they on and off have like a old time Hatfield versus McCoy level feud that's also more of a Van Helsing versus Dracula family feud. But they're up in the woods drinking cow blood and trying not to
bother
close
folks.
it, go back to being monsters. But some of the boys go out for a night in town and run into, there's a ruckus, and the uncle has to help out, and the uncle kind of blacks out, but it goes, everything goes awry. And everything they were trying to avoid is now happening. This was so amazingly good. I don't even have the words, other than so amazingly good.
And
Super
yawn.
Sons, at the mercy of Kid Amazo. I love this book. This is Super Sons #3. I love this book. Now that it's bumped to the $3.99, this is the first one to have the digital code, so I have this on my phone. Does kind of annoy me that really, if you decide to bump the price and do this, you can't give me some kind of special deal so that I can get, now I'm going to have #3 up, or I can go buy #1 and 2 that I already paid for as comical books. Really? That's so cool. I'm going to cry when Blue Beetle comes out, because that's going to be at like issue number, 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be, I got #9. I don't have any of the first ones.
Your completionist brain is going to hurt.
So I'm going to wait for like a sale and end up buying like the trade, and then pitch in the issue or 2 that I'm missing. Yeah, I can't not just have it like that. Is where Batwoman comes out, this week. I have #2 digitally. #1 I don't have. I don't. My brain doesn't allow me to function that way. Anyway, the boys, so well written. They are. They are like, the term frenemies was created just so that this book could happen. They take on they take on themselves when Kid Amazo ends up duplicating them as robots, and they do better fighting each other's robot than themselves, because let's face it, they'd rather do harm to each other than not.
Yeah.
But they're for two characters that don't actually like each other. Their interaction is so great and so genuine. I think this has just become my favorite Superboy Robin combo. Whereas we know I'm a diehard Connor Kent fan, and we know that Tim Drake was the Robin of my era. But this is great. Although, imagine a book with all four of them. Oh, I'm weeping. I'm weeping. Superman. Really, at this point, Jonathan Kent is more integral to the DC universe than Superman is. And don't get me wrong, look how great Superman looks, looking like a real Superman. And it just makes me so happy to know how look at it. So much new Superboy. Things are creepy in the town. It's actually sort of parallel, because in this, Kid Amazo's family are the last group of people that still have their powers from the Amazo virus. So you've got a superpowered family where they all wanted to be heroes, but Kid Amazo, of course, is darker, and things have gone awry. In this, we don't know what the story behind it is, but that neighbor, the girl that he's friend with, Grandpa's and she have some sort of strange powers. He even kind of puts a mind bamboozle on the pupper on Crypto. Makes me nervous. Don't be messing with Crypto. Superwoman, really more of a interlude between the what's his name? Why am I blanking?
Describe.
Jimenez, who was doing it before this, and now he was writing and drawing it. Now it's written by they just give an initial, so I guess she just goes by Kay Perkins, and drawn by Steven Segovia. And this is her powerless and trying to come to terms with that. A lot of Clark involved. I sort of like the whole Maggie Sawyer has recruited, but is not having the easiest time with Atomic Skull is working for her. Soups has to convince Lana that, look, you'll always be, now that they remember each other, know each other, you'll always be Super. Actually, a lot of parallels between this and the latest issue of Supergirl, where he's telling her, look, I'm going to need you, just like in Supergirl. I'm going to need you. Something's coming. It's big. I don't know what. I need my super family around me. And showing her, look, you've inspired people. That's your S they're wearing, not mine. That almost scene for scene happened in Supergirl. I'm not saying that like it's derivative. I'm saying that like it's, it's a valid point in both circumstances. They're also, we're going to get a new origin for her, because now that the world has merged and there never was an old Clark and Lois versus a new Clark and Lois, she can't have gotten her powers from Clark died. So it's sort of like a one more day, only made me happy. Speaking of made me happy, Plastic #1 by Doug Pottymouth Wagner, Daniel Scribbles Hilliard, Laura Cat Lady Martin. I also would have accepted Laura Bird Lady Martin, because she posts about her cats and birds that she takes pictures of in the yard on Facebook more than anything else. Ed Comic Sans Dukeshire does the letters, and Andrew Biker Dust Robinson does cover A.
The credits were infinitely amusing.
This book is infinitely amusing. You weren't at the last roundtable, so you didn't hear all of us waiting for this.
Don't remind me.
I just did. Basically,
Dick.
there is a former special ops. Let's just say his mind is fragmented, but he has a certain set of skills. But really, all he wants to do now is be left alone and live a normal life with the love of his life, Virginia. But some people see his skills and want him to do their own wet works. So they, rather than just hire him, they kidnap Virginia. Now, it's important to note that the reason it's called Plastic is Virginia, the love of his life that he talks to, is a sex doll. Basically, this is sort of like a dash of Taken, a swirl of Dexter, a little bit Lars and the Real Girl, all mixed together in a big pot.
I'm thinking John Malkovich's character from Red.
And poof, you get Plastic. Read it. Daredevil, the man without fear, he's kind of falling off a building.
That's gonna suck.
Number 19. This continues the saga of Daredevil. We know somehow it's going to involve the Purple Man and more likely the Purple Children, but Daredevil recounting to a priest how he got to the point where no one remembers that he was Matt Murdock. He has a secret identity again, and what went down. Interestingly enough, as this flips back and forth, the scene with Purple Man is trying to get Matt Murdock to think of the worst thing he could ever imagine himself doing so he can get him to do it. But while in reality that takes place in a lab, where interestingly enough, he's been using the Purple Children in the giant gem boxes, just like Dr. Doom used Purple Man in the Emperor Doom graphic novel, to augment his own abilities here. But in Matt's head, he's at a bar where every version of him is hanging out. The I Am Daredevil, Mark Waid Daredevil, the looking like the TV early age Daredevil, the regular Daredevil, the yellow, the yellow original Daredevil, and of course, yes, the background at one point.
Shadowland.
No, before that, the Daredevil in like the armor from like the 90s, that like red and black armor.
Oh, right.
Who at one point actually says, while they're all coming up with what they need to do, he says, "Wrong, idiot," and smacks the original Daredevil. "You're not thinking big enough, Murdoch. The worst thing needs to be extreme."
Dear
and then original Daredevil's like, "Extreme? Now that's idiotic." And they fight. There's just, in the back of Daredevil's head, training Daredevil, Mark Waid Daredevil, original Daredevil, and extreme Daredevil are all just kicking the shit out of each other because he literally beats himself up over the worst thing he could do. Curse words. He's found a way to charge his powers by studying Earthworld magic. This is curse words number 3? Sure. Yeah, no, 4.
4?
You poopy head. Unfortunately, he does a good deed and saves people right before his ex-girlfriend comes to kill him. So it's Charles Soule. I just did a Charles Soule back to back with a Charles Soule. All right, I love Charles Soule. Read everything he writes. Wildstorm number 3. She's in yellow Converse. Hey, that's what I used to wear. While I'm still confused as to how a Wildstorm world can exist without Apollo and Midnighter, because apparently Apollo and Midnighter are just now a firm part of the DCU, which I guess makes a sort of sense, but really if you're going to do this, then they should be over there. Or make both. Put them in each world. I don't care. Anywho, this is so much better than I dared to hope it would be. Great issue. They come to find Angie, and Angie's not entirely certain who to trust until one side overtly tries to kill her and the other side saves her from it. Art, story, beautiful, love it.
Usually a good indicator.
Batwoman number 2, free digital copy. Damn it. Batwoman, we kind of explore her pre-Batwoman origins, the art of Kate, and find that like anyone in the Bat world, you can do more harm than good just by caring about someone, and then going off to do your own thing. And it's involved. It's intricate. It's really, really good. Art is nice, and I love James Tynion, and Marguerite Bennett was not always one of my favorites, but she won my heart and my soul with Animosity, and then, yeah, lately she's been, I blame New 52 more than I blame Margaret Bennett for the things I didn't like that she did in New 52. Captain America Steve Rogers number 16 is a book I'm canceling. Cave Carson has a cybernetic eye. Guest star Superman, only not really, because it's all in Cave's head. This book is so beautiful, so good. It's called Cave Carson has a cybernetic eye. Whoever thought that we'd be in a world where, a Gerard Way, Michael Avon Oming, combo could happen.
Number 7?
No, yeah, number 7. And John Rivera does the writing based on, the stories that he and Gerard Way come up with, and then the art is all Michael Avon Oming. So, Nightwing, I love this cover.
That's a good cover.
So, Nightwing versus Dr. Hurt for the life of Damian Wayne. Interestingly enough, in this we've got Damian in mortal peril. In Superman's story, is Superboy? The thing is Superboy gonna? Something's up with his powers. Is he gonna lose him? Is he gonna turn to the dark side? What's happening? Blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, they have their own book, so I don't think anything's happening to them just yet. But I love how they're everywhere. Everywhere. And just to hear them fighting over being in Titans is great. Generation Zero brings this to an end, rather satisfyingly. The town of Rook becomes a new haven for Psyots, the black sheep of the family. The reign of terror is brought to an end, and interestingly enough, they now sort of have the same dynamic as over in Harbinger Renegades, where you've got a group of superpowered people and a funky-haired teenage girl who's with them, but not really one of them. Justice League. Don't mess with Superman's family. Don't do it. Yeah, because even Jonathan and Lois get to be featured in here. Other than on the cover, Batman's belt looks entirely uncomfortable. This is a really, Brian Hitch writing, really strong issue. Batman is in like Superman armor. That makes me giggle. Apparently something big is coming that I don't know if they mean the Watchmen related overarching stuff from the entire Rebirth or something specific to Justice League. This cover, just this, silhouette and glow, just makes me think of like any comic in like the 80s. Just has a very John Byrne feel to just this. Clearly they're not terribly Byrne-like, but yeah, this could be like any cover in the 80s. Makes me happy. And I'm out of books, so get out of here, internets, before I have to get fresh with you.
Thanks for watching another video from Gonna Geek. If you like geeky stuff, check out our podcast network, our news and articles, and our community forums. You can find it all at gonnageek.com. Like us at facebook.com/gonnageek. Tweet us at gonnageek. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/gonnageek. And check out our live programming at gonnageek.com/live.